Well, I had been doing a lot of research on why atheists are atheists, and I came across two interesting clips by two prominent, I guess they would call themselves atheists, as they spoke about how they don't want to identify with atheists because when the word atheist is brought up, automatically a negative connotation comes into people's minds. Often they're angry and trying to refute religious people with their beliefs. But here, listen to these two clips. The first is from Neil deGrasse. The second is from Dan Dennett. Let's give them a listen.
Well, we can see those things.
By the way, it's why I don't call myself an atheist. It's why. You can look up the dictionary definition of atheist, and it kind of applies to me, but what is the definition of atheist in practice? It is what leading atheists do, and it's their conduct, and it's their behavior, and it's what they say, and it's their attitude. Mm-hmm. That is what an atheist is today, because they're the most visible exemplars of that word. And most of their conduct, I either don't agree with or simply don't engage in.
What don't you agree with?
I don't debate religious people and tell them they're idiots.
Well, I don't like the term atheist because it usually means somebody who's going around upbraiding people and trying to force them to listen to his arguments for why there is no God. I don't think there's a God, so I'm an atheist, but I don't make a deal of it. I think.
From my personal experience, there's two types of atheists. First is the militant atheist. These people breathe out fire and are just enraged when they hear the word Christian or God, and they go nuclear when they hear Christian preaching. They spend a lot of time thinking about how they can refute Christians, and they're triggered when they hear the word God. And they spend a lot of time trying to disprove a God they don't believe in. It's almost like they know God exists, but they're trying to numb their conscience down to get out of their mind the Lord does exist. The next are what I call relaxed atheists. They just live their lives and have no desire to engage the issues of Christianity anymore or religion. And I have two friends that I would call are relaxed atheists. You can come and have a rational, calm discussion with them. In fact, I had one tonight with an atheist and asked him about the existence of God and the rebuttal to the existence of God. It was a very calm and rational discussion. No one insulted me. No insults were given back and forth. Very calm. They aren't breathing out fire, and they're actually quite enjoyable to talk to. YouTube must be the place where all the militant atheists congregate. The amount of hate and insults that I see not only on my channel, which is a very small channel, and on the other Christian channels is just astronomical. I see a lot of people have spent a lot of time writing insults even for me, which is their right to do. This is a free speech channel on YouTube. But most importantly, everyone watching this video needs to hear the good news of Jesus again. God made the universe through Jesus Christ. God made each one of us for a purpose, to know Him, to serve Him, to love Him. But we as humans have rebelled against God. We have sinned against God in our thoughts and our attitudes and actions. We've disobeyed God. We've committed things that God has said we should not do, and we have not done the things that God has commanded that we should do. These actions, these sins, put us at odds with God and separate us from God. These sins put us in a broken relationship with God. But God in His grace sends His Son. Jesus came for a purpose. Jesus came to save and deliver. Jesus said in Matthew 9 verse 13, "For I came not to call the righteous, but the sinners." Jesus comes to save and deliver those who acknowledge their sin, those who acknowledge that their sin has offended a holy God. And Jesus comes to save those who acknowledge that they need Jesus Christ to save them. Today you need to know and acknowledge that you've sinned against a God who is holy, but also acknowledge and believe and trust in a God who is gracious and sends his Son. Trust Christ Jesus and his work upon the cross. Lean upon Christ Jesus and what he has accomplished for you. He has taken that sin and that shame in your place upon the cross. He bore God's judgment. He bore the curse of the law, as Galatians 3:13 says. I'm going to close with Romans 5 verse 8. But God shows his love for us in this, that while we were sinners, Christ died for us. Look at that amazing love of God giving us his Son. Jesus loving us by going to the cross, bearing our suffering, our shame, our punishment, so that we could be free and live a new life, a transformed life, all for God's glory, which is what we were made to do. Thanks for watching, and God bless.